Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me funny, lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! Well, Vicky, Viggo, thank you so much for taking the time and congratulations on making a great movie.
Thank you.
I want to start with a question for both of you. You know, for me, growing up in Texas, Westerns are baked into our DNA, whether it was watching Gunsmoke with my grandfather or the Sergio Leone movies with my dad. There's something that I've always loved about them. But what I've heard from actors and directors is that working on a Western has a certain calmness, stillness, quietness, but also a lot of fun. I find that I hear that a lot. So Vicky, starting with you, did you enjoy the process of a Western, or what appealed to you most? And then Viggo.
Well, I would allow myself to say that most of the people refer to the past, but are usually not women, the center of the movie. So I don't know if the women have so much fun. maybe there's some connection there. But so yeah, to be honest with you, playing the part was not easy. It was tough, but because she goes through a lot, you know, and maybe that's not what usually they would do in Westerns. I would have had fun shooting people too, I think. Because that's usually stunt work, but the women always do the heavy lifting, which is the emotional work. But other than that, as we said earlier, we were able to be in this beautiful landscape. I love horse riding. Viggo loves horse riding. So every weekend we would take the horses out into the canyon and visit the set, and so that was wonderful. I think that's why shooting a Western is so wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a lot of work. It took me a long time to raise the money to be able to make this movie. But that's part of it. I mean, if you like what you're attempting to do, then you find the energy, you find a way to get people to help you and collaborate and get the story done. Even finding the horses was an adventure, because we're in Mexico and kind of middle of the country, state of Durango. And we were going from farm to farm, and I would see a horse out in the field, and I'd go knock on the door and ask the guy. Fortunately, I can speak Spanish, so I could ask him. I said, is that horse, would you be able to rent that horse, or would you be willing to sell it? And they'd look at you like you're crazy. I said, no, we're making a movie. And they said, uh-huh. And sometimes they say, no. Shut the door. But sometimes they say, yeah. And I said, well, can I ride the horse? And then, you know, so gradually finding the horses was an adventure. And then I asked my friend Rex Peterson, who's a great horse trainer and a trainer of riders, a Nebraska cowboy, and someone I've worked with many times. He was retired, and I said, Rex, I need your help down here. I'm directing this movie. I got a lot of plates spinning, and will you come down and help me find some horses? I can't find them all. And so he did come down. I said, just come down for a couple of weeks and help train some of the actors and find the horses with me. And then by the end of it, he said, and this was the attitude of the whole crew, really, and the actors. It was kind of a team spirit thing. He said, you've got a lot on your hands. You got a big mess down here. I'm staying around for the whole shoot. And I said, oh, that's great. And we put him in the movie. He has a fabulous mustache, and he's a great horseman, so he was perfect for our story. So it was fun. It was hard work, but it was a lot of fun.
And I am running short on time, but I wanted to ask Viggo, during the edit of this movie, you said that you found a connection to editing music and editing a film, and that sometimes the music helped dictate the final cut of this movie. Can you kind of explain that relationship for us quickly between music and editing a film?
Well, what we did actually is we composed and recorded pretty much the whole soundtrack many months before we started shooting, which sounds backwards, but it was helpful because then I could, for example, play it for the cinematographer and say, this scene's not going to have music, but this one is, and the rhythm should be like this, and I don't want to have many shots, and the tone should be like this, and that was helpful during the shoot as a guide, and then in the editing even more. And I think that's something I'd been doing for years, is editing music, and I had not done images until I did my first movie, before this one, Falling. And what I realized right away is editing images, it's similar to music because it's about rhythm, timing. You watch the image enough, it'll tell you, okay, this is enough. Now we have to go to another angle. That's the end of that shot, or the end of the scene, or I don't need that shot, Same with music, that's too many notes, get rid of a few. Or there's too many instruments, get rid of the violin, let's just have it be cello there. And it's very similar. If you listen enough or you watch enough, it'll tell you when to cut, when to reduce what's there.
Well, thank you again for taking the time. Congratulations to you both on the movie. It was excellent. I just really appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.